You know what's strange? How sometimes the person who hurt you the most is the one you still crave the most. You tell yourself you're done, that you've learned your lesson, that you'll never go back again. But then a memory hits you. Their laugh, their voice, the way they made you feel like home for a moment. And suddenly, you're back in that same emotional loop, missing someone who broke you. It's a strange kind of addiction, isn't it? Loving someone who hurts you. Wanting someone who made you question your worth. It doesn't make sense to your mind, but your heart. It keeps reaching out like maybe this time it'll be different. I used to think going back meant weakness, that it meant I didn't value myself enough. But now I see it's not weakness. It's trauma. It's memory. It's the part of you that still believes healing will come from the same place that hurt you. You see, when someone breaks you, they don't just hurt you. They create a wound, and your mind, it remembers not just the pain, but also the comfort that came before it. It clings to that warmth, those few good moments, and it starts believing that if you could just get that version of them back, maybe the pain would finally make sense. That's why you keep going back. Not because you love being hurt, but because you still believe love can fix what it broke. And the most dangerous part is, sometimes it does feel like it's working. They'll come back, they'll say the right things, they'll remind you of who they were in the beginning. And for a few days, maybe even weeks, it feels like everything you hope for is finally happening. You feel seen again, wanted again, safe again. But then, slowly, the same patterns start to reappear, the same silences, the same cold distance, and you realize you've walked right back into the same storm, hoping it would rain differently this time. And that's the hardest truth to face. People don't change just because you're still hurting. They don't transform because you love them enough. They change when they want to, not when you need them to. But your heart, it doesn't want logic. It wants resolution. It wants to finish the story the right way, to prove that all the pain you went through had meaning, that it wasn't all for nothing. So you go back, not because you don't know better, but because you still want to believe that it can be better. That's what makes emotional attachment so powerful. When love and pain are intertwined for too long, your nervous system starts confusing the two. You start craving what once hurt you, not because you want pain, but because pain became familiar. And the human heart, it will always choose the familiar over the unknown. It's like walking back into a burning house, not because you enjoy the fire, but because it's the only place that ever felt like home. But you can't rebuild yourself in the same place that broke you. And deep down, you know that. You know that every time you leave, you swear it's the last time. You promise yourself you won't answer when they call. You won't reply when they text. And yet, the moment that silence stretches too long, your mind starts whispering. Maybe they've changed. Maybe they miss me. Maybe this time it's real. But here's something no one tells you. Healing isn't about getting closure from them. It's about giving closure to yourself. It's realizing that love shouldn't feel like constantly begging someone to see you. It shouldn't feel like walking on glass, afraid that one wrong move will make them leave again. You deserve peace, not emotional confusion. You deserve consistency, not chaos disguised as passion. And you deserve love that doesn't make you question whether you're too much or not enough. The reason you keep going back isn't because you're foolish. It's because a part of you still thinks you can heal the version of them that once loved you right. But here's the truth. You can't heal someone by staying in their storm. You can only heal by stepping out of it. Sometimes the closure you're waiting for will never come from them. It'll come from the moment you stop waiting for them to become someone they're not. You have to let the version of them you fell in love with die. Not because you want to, but because holding on to it keeps you from meeting the peace that's waiting on the other side of letting go. It hurts, I know. It hurts to realize that someone can be both your comfort and your chaos. It hurts to admit that the same hands that held you could also be the ones that let you go. But there's something sacred about that pain. It's the part of you that's still alive enough to care, still human enough to hope, still brave enough to love, even after everything. And maybe that's what healing really is. Not forgetting them, not hating them, but learning to love yourself enough to stop running back to what broke you. Because every time you go back, a part of you knows it'll end the same way. And yet, you go anyway, thinking maybe this time you'll hurt less. But pain doesn't lessen by repeating it. It lessens by releasing it. You can't rewrite the past by reliving it. You can't turn someone into the person you hoped they'd be by giving them more chances. At some point, you have to accept that the person you wanted them to become exists only in your imagination. And that's okay. It's okay to miss someone and still know they're not good for you. It's okay to love someone and still walk away. It's okay to still care, even when you know it's over. That's what healing looks like. Feeling everything, but not letting it control you anymore. You might still think about them when you wake up. You might still reach for your phone when you're lonely. You might still replay the moments that made you smile. But healing doesn't mean those things disappear. It means they stop defining your worth. Because love isn't supposed to make you lose yourself. And if it does, it's not love anymore. It's attachment. And that's what you've been fighting. Not love, but attachment. The psychological bond your mind formed with someone who felt like safety, even when they weren't. It's not love you keep going back to. It's the need to feel the way they made you feel before they hurt you. But that version of them doesn't exist anymore, and the moment you accept that, you'll finally be free. Freedom doesn't come from moving on overnight. It comes from taking one step at a time, choosing yourself a little more each day. It comes from unfollowing them, deleting old messages, letting silence speak louder than nostalgia. It comes from realizing you don't need to be chosen by the same person who keeps leaving. You can love them and still choose yourself. You can remember them and still let go. You can grieve the relationship and still believe love will find you again, just in a healthier way. And when that day comes, when someone new enters your life, someone who doesn't make you question your value, you'll look back at the person who hurt you and realize they were never your ending. They were your awakening. They showed you what you should never settle for again. They broke you open so you could finally learn what it means to love yourself the way you always deserved. You keep going back because your heart still believes it can turn pain into love. But love doesn't grow in places where you were never seen. Love grows when you stop chasing what broke you and start building what heals you. So stop waiting for them to come back. Stop hoping they'll finally understand what they did. Start understanding what you deserve instead. Because healing isn't about fixing the past. It's about freeing yourself from it. And the moment you do, you'll realize something powerful. You never needed them to make you whole. You just needed to remember you already were. If you and I are anything alike, if you've ever found yourself going back to the same person who hurt you, trying to make sense of something that was never meant to make sense, then maybe it's time to stop going back and start coming home. If you want to keep walking this path with me, then subscribe.